Okay then, it's another day and I've spent about an hour putzing around with this thing trying to get that pulley off the bottom of the engine crankshaft, and it's not coming. So I put it back together and we're just going to run the old used lower drive belt. For now it's not in horrible shape. It'll last a little bit longer, but in the meantime I got to fix this variator in here and get the new, I got a new cheapo belt to put back on. I got about a year out of that belt, so that one. So we're just gonna throw another belt on it and run it. But like I said, the variator needs some work, itself needs some work. And it breaks again, that's it, it's over. So I was gonna keep that mower for backup. I don't know if I'm gonna still do that or not. Probably need to. Something what we're doing is, don't mind the mess. I've been in the middle of doing that transmission, got it done, and my shop's a mess right now. I can clean all this up, but all I did was, this is your variator. That thing moves in there, and it was kind of getting sticky again. It was a little bit dry, so I just oiled it lightly, and it's moving good. And you got a little needle bearing on each end of this thing, rides on a little shaft out there on the mower. And this one was gone. The shell was still there, but all the needle bearings and everything were gone out of it. So all I'm doing is I am going to press a new one in, and run that thing down and bring you back. The press, it's life easy for you. That's it. Off of there. I don't know about in your world, but in my world, every kind of inanimate object tries to fight me, seems like. But okay then. So that's that. Grab a little bit of this stuff for a look at. Tap. All right. All right. So that's the used one. That's the new one right there. So all I'm going to do is, those things, I may have grease in them, but it doesn't look like it. I'm going to hit that. I'm going to put just a little bit of grease in it. You don't have to put a lot in it, because you don't want it slinging out on your belt. Use my pinky for that. Alright, should be good. I'll wipe off the excess. Alright, like that one. Alright. Okay, now I know which way this variator goes because it's rusty on the top, because water tends to sit on it, but it goes down over here on this thing. See, there's some needle bearings right there. That's the remains of them where that thing came apart. So it was pretty good. It looks like it has, the bottom was a little bit rough, but I don't care, so I don't care anymore. So, alright, I'm going to throw that thing on there, and you got like a little clip, washing a clip at the top that holds it on, and then we're going to go from there. Put the rest of the belt, the other belt on. Variator. Okay, let's see if this thing's going to move. that seems okay. Next time like I said, next time I have to do another belt, if I do another belt on it, that pulley, to get it off, it'll have to be destroyed. That's a sheet metal pulley. And like I said, I tried to pull it off with the puller and it just started bending it. You know, it's got a 9/16 bolt, or 7, well, the threads are 7/16, but anyway, it's got a bolt and you're supposed to be able to just slip it off there. Yeah. Yeah. But that mower does a pretty good job for, is, you know, for it's a cheap POS that it is. Cut's nice. Deck's nice and well on it. So, alright, that's gonna wrap this up. So, hey, I've gotta go in there and get cleaned up, put the cover back on that and the gear shift knob, and I think I'm gonna run some cardboard over to the cardboard thing. Probably need to get some gas in my gas can. Do that, I guess I'll come back and cut grass. Exciting. See ya, thanks for watching. But wait, don't go yet. Our story does not end there. So I've learned a hard lesson just now about what happens when you try to skip out on just changing both the belts on these mowers, these Transmatic, Veridrive, whatever you want to call them, pain in the ass mowers at the same time. So I just put the upper drive belt on. So one goes from the variator to the transmission. And I thought, well, that lower belt doesn't look that bad. It's a little worn, but it might be okay. So anyway, I got it all back together and took off, and I got, I don't know, not quite half the yard done again, of the front yard this time. And just like before, I got over there and I stopped. So I know what that is now. Every time I stop, and I'm not trying to stop, my forward momentum ceases. Well, the belts is blown. So anyway, sure enough, that was just enough to ruin that lower belt, take it on out, and it got broken and wrapped up in the Veridrive. So fortunately I got one. I just had neglected to put it on because I was gonna have to fight that pulley off. But you can see when these belts go, I don't waste any time about it. It's over, they're done. So I don't know if it's the temperature or what it is, but it takes them out. So anyway, earlier, so I was having some clearance problems under this mower. I actually had to dig a hole here. I'll show you why in just a second. But this is this nice cheapo stamp steel pulley that goes on the crank. And I tried to take it off earlier with the just my puller and my ratchet, and it just wasn't having it. It just wasn't doing it. It would just try to bend the pulley. It's already bent a little bit. So that's why I put it back together. So yeah, I just won't worry about that right now. It'll be fine. Well, it was not fine. So this time, upset about this enough at it and myself, I just decided that I didn't care what I broke. There's a point when you work on stuff that you have to get to sometimes, and that is you don't care what you break. You're just going to remove what it is, and you'll deal with the collateral damage later. And these pulleys are available, and everything on this thing's widely available from everywhere. So I didn't care. No longer cared about it. So I got my impact out, and I got that stupid ass 2-jaw puller, which I detest. Got it on there finally to where it'd stay and tighten down a little bit. And I dug the hole so I could get the electric impact down under there and on there, and I just pushed the button and did not let off until that pulley was off, and this thing was flying around like a spinner. So that's it, it's off. So I'm gonna put it all back together now, put the belt back on it. Learned a lesson. These things are simple mowers, but man, they're hard on belts. I don't know why, but either way, it's not my concern. I'll get it going again, try to get the front yard finished, and then I'm gonna go have me a nice supper somewhere tonight. I deserve it.